what went through your mind when he came up and then they cut off the...
Well, I was standing on stage and I was really excited because I had just won the award, and then I was really excited because Kanye West was on the stage, and then I wasn't so excited anymore after that.
And Taylor, are there any hard feelings towards him?
I don't know him, and I've never met him, so...
So were you a fan before?
Yeah. It's Kanye West.
Are you still a fan? I take it now?
You know, I don't know him, and I don't want to start anything because I had a great night tonight.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Did anyone give you support backstage?
Yeah, I've been getting so many text messages. It's like, and everybody's been really nice. So I've had a really, really fun night. It's been interesting, definitely. It's definitely been an interesting night.
How hard was it to coordinate the performance with the subway and all of the
performance
dancers?
was one of my favorite parts of the night, and especially the fact that it was so fan oriented, and the fact that the fans were everywhere. It was just wonderful, and I love New York, so I was so excited to be here.
Are you going to reach out to Kanye?
Huh?
Are you going to reach out to Kanye?
Thank you guys so much.
Just gonna try to have a good night. Thank you so much.
I try not to ever really say where I am the most because since all my addresses are on the internet, people tend to show up uninvited. Like, dudes that think we have an imaginary marriage.
You mentioned that you keep wound dressing with you?
Yeah, I've had a lot of stalkers show up to the house armed. So we have to think that way.
Supposed to ring,
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
Okay, all right.
This makes me feel so bad about myself. Every time I come up here, you put like a different dude up there on the screen. There's never been two guys on the screen 2 visits in a row. It's sad.
It's interesting that in your songs, you're still the outsider. With all the success.
Yeah, my mom talks to me a lot about that because I think you kind of get set in how you feel when you're in school. Like, I could be sitting in the front row at an award show and I still don't feel like a cool kid. Like,
To this day. And
like
you are the
ever.
cool kid.
Is your life at all normal?
No,
No.
not at all.
What's the most abnormal?
The most abnormal thing about my life is having sort of crowds form everywhere you go. And just everywhere. So that starts happening, and then you have to take security everywhere you go. All of a sudden, you realize that you have not been alone, truly, for 5 years.
on the album called Soon You'll Get Better that I can't even really hear, I can't even listen to.
She won't talk specifically about her inspiration, but it comes at a time when her mother, Andrea, who was battling cancer, suffered a relapse.
It's really interesting because I don't think I have written a song quite like that before. And it's just sort of like, it's just a tough one.
I can imagine, but I can also tell you, having listened to it, that it's universal.
It's just not something that we deal with until we have to, until we see it, until we experience it, until someone close to us is going through something like that. And so writing about it was really emotional, and I'm just gonna stop talking about it now.
Understandable.
Very secretive about how you vote, what you're voting for.
Well, I mean, I just figure I'm a 22-year-old singer, and, you know, I don't know if people really want to hear my political views. I think they just kind of want to hear me sing songs about breakups and feelings.
And does your boyfriend like the way it smells?
I don't have one. I keep telling you that. I don't have, like, even kind of a boyfriend.
Not even kind?
I don't have someone that I'm texting that's a guy that might someday be my boyfriend. There's, like, nothing going on right now.
That's pathetic.
Yeah. Just like...
You're busy.
Yeah, well,
You're
yeah,
very, very
of course.
busy.
What is the craziest thing that a boy has ever done to get your attention?
Nobody does anything crazy to get my attention. I don't know. As far as guys,
They
I
don't
can't
work hard
remember.
enough, do they?
Like,
They really don't.
I don't know. I can't remember, so I guess, you know, I guess there hasn't been anything.
Kind of made
Which
too
is
much.
good, so it's like easier. The bar's set really low for anyone who I date in the future to come in and be like a great guy. I'll be like, how, you exist? This is crazy.
I've been thinking about addiction, and I've been thinking about people who, if they're either suffering through mental illness or they're suffering through addiction, or they have an everyday struggle. No one pats them on the back every day, but every day they are actively fighting something. But there are so many days that nobody gives them credit for that.
Yeah.
And so how often must somebody who's in that sort of internal struggle must want to say to everyone in the room, you have no idea how close I am to going back to a dark place, or you have no idea.
You have no idea how hard it is to get to the point where you guys think is still shitty.
Yes, and then the second verse is about, someone who felt like they had a lot of potential in their life. I think there are a lot of mechanisms for us in our school days, in high school or college, to excel and to be patted on the back for something. And then I think a lot of people get out of school, and there are less abilities for them to get gold stars.
Yeah.
And then you have to make all these decisions, and you have to pave your own way, and there's no set class course you can take, and and I think a lot of people feel really swept up in that. And so I was thinking about this person who is really lost in life and then starts drinking, and every second is trying not to.
Can you just kind of sum up this whole year?
Yeah, no, I have no idea how this happens. This is like, and I know that this is probably never going to happen to me again like this. Like this kind of a year is so rare and so unique. Every album I put out has had its own different kind of feeling for the way that the year has gone. And this is such a unique feeling with Red. Like the fact that the fans got me to win Artist of the Year for the third time is kind of, to me, hard to even wrap my mind around. Like, I just sometimes I'm so happy I'm scared, if that makes any sense. Like,
with what you just said, it does make sense, because you don't think you're ever going to be able to achieve something like this again. And why?
Because I do that every time I win an award. Like, I just feel like this has got to be it. People are going to get sick of me, clearly. I'm always sick of me.
Can you do anything? You use the word normal, so I'll use it. Can you do anything like a normal person? Can you go out for a coffee? Can you go shopping? Or is everything an event with tons of paparazzi following you?
Anything outside my house or my apartment doesn't ever really feel normal. I try so hard to make it normal, because I don't engage. Like if I'm being followed by a camera crew and all these paparazzi, they know that I don't want to have the conversation. And in New York, they're very respectful of that. Like, they just take their pictures and they say thank you and they leave. I don't want to make it into a press conference. My friends wouldn't want that either. But in my apartment, in my house, we can bake, we can make dinner, we can dance, we can do whatever we want. It's just that it's just a fact that when I'm outside the doors of my apartment, people are watching me, and that's the life that I chose.
And you're okay with it?
I have days where I am, days where I'm not. Like, I don't think anyone has a solid stance on any way that they feel. Like, it's like saying, are you happy every day? Sometimes it feels absolutely stifling and overwhelming, to be honest with you. There are times when I feel like with everything that's in my control, I can make myself seem like someone who doesn't have an abnormal life. And I try that every day. Every day, it's like, how do I make myself, among my friends and family and my loved ones, not see this big elephant that's in the room for our normal life, because I don't want the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in my life, I feel like there's a certain amount that comes with it that I can't stop from happening. Yeah. I can't stop from you getting a call in the morning that says, the tabloids are writing this today. I can't help it if there's a guy with a long lens camera 2 miles away with a telescope lens taking pictures of you. I can't stop those things from happening. And so this song was basically like, is it enough? Is the stuff that I can control enough to sort of block out the things that I can't? Yeah. So it makes me really emotional to hear this.
I tend to get triggered by something, whether it's a picture of me where I feel like I looked like my tummy was too big, or like someone said that I looked pregnant or something, and that'll just trigger me to just starve a little bit, just stop.
The one indulgence I allow myself is
food. I just love food. I can't do like crazy strict birdseed diet stuff. Like, I like to eat a lot, so I exercise a lot. So I try to really balance it out, because I I just love food so much.
I would have defended it to anyone who said, I'm concerned about you. I was like, what are you talking about? Of course I eat. It's perfectly normal. I just exercise a lot. And I did exercise a lot, but I wasn't eating.
Meanwhile, I mean, I know that every award you get, you're so thrilled. In fact, it seems like you're so shocked every time you win something. And at this point, I'm like, really? Taylor can't be that shocked. And we have all your sort of actually surprised Taylor
Don't show it to
faces.
me. This will hurt my feelings.
No.
Do not show it to me.
But you're always like, give me your best Taylor surprise
That's
face.
sort of just that's how I am, though. I just kind of get really excited about stuff. I don't know.
Oh, your fans are like, I'm not
just
criticizing her. So you decide you shouldn't be blasé. You might as well be excited.
I don't really decide anything. It's like it just happens. I just get really happy and excited when I win awards because I just feel like that's something that's not going to happen to you forever, and it might not even happen to you ever again after this one time that they just called out your name, and so I just freak out and I don't have any control over it. There are these rumors going around on the internet today that they're very creative, saying that I'm pregnant, which is impossible. And impossible. So, you know, it's so crazy when you spend your entire life and all of your energy trying to be a good person and trying to be a good role model and trying to make the right decisions, and you make the right decisions, you make the right choices, and people make things up about you. You know, that it's a little offensive, honestly. I have devoted my entire life to not having something like that happen. And, you know, it's really, really scary that someone can just say something and that it gets spread around the internet. And all of a sudden, it's a verified rumor. And with no grounds, with no evidence, I didn't do anything to provoke that. Like, I just, you know, I'm sitting there thinking, like, what, did I wear the wrong shirt someday or what? Like,
I grew up in Pennsylvania, and growing up in Pennsylvania and wanting to pursue country music, those are two different things. I remember, you know, when I went through this period of time when I didn't really have that many friends at school, kids would just heckle me and be like, oh, go sing that country beep. And then at that point, it just dawned on me that I had to love being different, or else I was just going to end up being dark and angry.
You still have a lot of anxiety, I know, and you worry a lot.
yeah, not like rocking back and forth.
No,
anxiety.
no, but I know you know you worry about things, even when things are going really, really well.
Oh yeah, like
you know,
I worry about
you have this
everything.
little voice, sort of inside of you saying, sort of negative
You
thoughts.
can't do it. You're a loser.
Is that what the voice says?
Yep.
Let me talk about your anxiety issues a little bit more.
Oh, great.
No, one of the funny things, you have these recurring nightmares.
Yep.
Yeah, tell us what they are.
I get hauled off to jail for something I didn't do.
And this is a recurring nightmare.
Yes.
And then you have another one, right, about clothes or
yeah, like
dirty
I'm
clothes?
I'm in a room and I wake up and I have all these piles of clothes all over the floor, and I start cleaning them and they start multiplying, and then they're on the ceiling and they're growing, then they're on the ceiling growing, and the ones over here are growing and I can't clean them and they keep multiplying.
Your dream of being arrested, it's a subconscious fear of losing it all.
Yes, that happens.
And the clutter dream, the clothes dream, that you worry about things getting out of order and not having control. That's pretty kind of obvious,
Yeah,
isn't it?
definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, you're performing. Like, let's say you're performing at the Grammys, or maybe even just something like you're just on the road. You're in Chicago.
Those are two very different things.
That's what I'm saying.
Those
It's like,
are very
okay, it could be
different.
across the board.
Any
Have
performance.
any of these things ever popped in your head mid-performance? Did I remember to turn off the stove? Maybe I'll order Chinese food for dinner.
That's what it is.
I wonder what Beyonce's doing right now.
It's usually
that girl has cute hair.
Yeah, that, and
Should I have Chinese food for dinner?
and what am I going to eat after the show? That's what I have to stop myself from being like, what did I eat? What am I going to eat now?
Yeah.
After this. I thought that I was just like supposed to feel like I was going to pass out at the end of a show or in the middle of it. I thought that was how it was. And now I realize know if you eat food, have energy, get stronger, you can do all these shows and not feel it.
Is this a really nerve-wracking time for you?
Almost every time for me is a nerve-wracking time for me because I will find the pressure in every situation and think about it. And my life has become sort of a constant balancing act between, you know, like hope and fear and like faith and worrying and like, you know, being nervous about this album I've worked really hard on and like being proud of this album I've worked really hard on.
Just a sentence if you could. In 10 years, I will be...
Whoa, that's such a hard question.
Really?
It's like all my fears come out.
Like what?
Like losing everything, like losing my friends and my family and like ending up alone and crying.
I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.